Hi, everybody. It is a beautiful, beautiful Thursday morning. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill coming to you from KGW TV in downtown Portland. The forecast that we came up with last Sunday saying that this was going to be a beautiful, absolutely glorious week all the way through Friday with a couple of 80-degree days. And then we would look for some rain to start this upcoming week. None of that has changed. So I want to really get into the rain forecast that is this coming Monday, Tuesday. By the way, Portland went 88, 83 the last 2 days, in the 70s today. And if you've looked out your window, I'm sure you have. It's just gorgeous. So, rainy start to next week is the overwhelming big headline. And it looks like it could be maybe a good 4 days next week, Monday through Thursday, with kind of rain at times or occasional showers. What you're looking at here on this homepage is the Monday, Tuesday, 2 day rain total outlook from the European model. And this model pretty much mimics what the other models are now showing. So if you look at this, this would be Sunday overnight, Monday into Tuesday evening of next week. It shows hope to maybe get upwards of a half of an inch of rain in the Willamette Valley, or at least I'm going to say a quarter to a half of an inch of rain. This actually shows some areas getting more, especially as you drop down south of Eugene. It shows maybe an inch of rain plus at the coast. Heavy rain amounts, or relatively heavy, if you will, up in western Washington as well, including Seattle, and then some measurable rain amounts scattered in the mountainous areas of eastern and Oregon and Washington. So that's what I'm really going to be getting into. This late September weather we've been having has just been fabulous. All of this brought to you by, as always, the Momentous Wealth Podcast. Listen on Apple Podcasts, listen on Spotify for a variety of investment topics meant to educate you. Okay, I showed you this map, I think the last time we spoke, the outlook from NOAA for October, and circled in red on the right, the above normal rainfall projection for Washington and the northern half of Oregon. Now, remember, NOAA projected September to be wetter than normal. We may or may not get enough rain Monday, Tuesday, which would be September 29, 30, to get Portland up to about an inch and a half for the 30-day period, which is considered normal. Now, typically, just so you know, September, the average is about an inch and a half. October for Portland, the average is about 3.5 inches. So we typically at least double the number of rainy days in October than what we see in September, which would make you think that going into October, we would have a chance to get at least a dozen days with some measurable rainfall, especially if we're in this outlook to be normal to above normal precipitation. So we'll be following that. And the outlooks models that I'm seeing in terms of the day-to-day flow patterns are favorable for October. I don't know if we're going to get up to 3.5 inches of rain or not, but to certainly have some decent rain moments. Real quick update on the wildfire map. This has not changed since earlier in the week. It basically showing the cluster of named large wildfires still burning in the northern half of Washington. And then you've got three large name fires down here in Oregon. Now, this backbone name fire, if you zoomed into this area, you would actually find a cluster of several fires burning in that region. But the news overall is good. The wildfire smoke is laid down. The air quality reports for Oregon and Washington today are generally improved. There's still some bad air quality up here in northern Washington where all these fires are burning. But in Oregon, even out in eastern Oregon, it's mostly good air quality this morning, mixed with some moderate reports. So that's all good news, right? Okay, let's get out of this and let me get you to one of the headlines for today, which is we haven't seen this in a while. This is the National Weather Service homepage out of Pendleton, and everything in red, which starts in Hood River, goes through the Dalles, goes down to Maupin, goes out toward Hermiston into Pendleton, and then up throughout much of eastern Washington. This is a red flag warning. This is this afternoon and this evening for high fire danger. And they've issued this mainly because of a return of gusty west winds, something we haven't seen in a while. Relative humidity factors are low, especially from Hood River to the Dalles and out toward Pendleton in Oregon. We're talking about afternoon west gusts that could go as high as 30, 35 miles per hour. Nothing extreme, but a noticeable kind of blustery day. And this is giving you a heads up that if you're outside working with machinery and a spark is thrown, that spark could easily ignite a fast moving grass or brush fire. So take the necessary precautions for that. Otherwise, the big story today and really through Sunday is that most days, most hours rather, are going to be sunny. and just gorgeous weather expected. There's Tillamook from the camera at Gerhardt by the Sea Resort. There's Wine Country to Mainstream Winery, the Willamette Valley. This is my live camera network. There's downtown Portland this morning. There's the Canita Hot Springs Resort over in Warm Springs. There's Lincoln County, the Inn at Ottacrest, just beautiful sunshine. Really hope you are enjoying it. So let's get into the flow pattern that's going to be changing that will bring us the rain to start next week. This is the European model, which is mostly what I've chosen to show you today. This is this morning. And you see out here, there's a little trough. It's weak, but this is a little push of cooler air that's going to be making it inland during the day today. Here's this evening. Here's the trough axis moving all the way out into eastern Washington and Idaho. So that's a push of cooler weather coming in today. Instead of being in the 80s, we're going to be in the 70s here in the Willamette Valley. You may or may not, well, especially northern areas, see a period of some passing cloudiness come inland today with this little surge of cooler weather. But generally, as we go through Friday, we're looking at sunshine. You see a little bit of ridging Friday right in here going into Saturday. So that's dry weather. That's a good bit of sun. Here's a dry Sunday, but look what's offshore. This is Sunday afternoon. This is a 531 enclosed low up in the Gulf of Alaska and a pretty deep trough that extends all the way well off the coast of California. So this rain is going to be coming in, it looks like Sunday overnight. Could be rain in the Willamette Valley by Monday morning. Here's the same trough Tuesday, weakening, but still feeding at least shower chances. So if I back this up, if you just look at the pressure heights drop with this well-defined pressure trough, you would get the idea that at some point through the day Monday, we're going to see more total rain than we're going to see Tuesday, because Tuesday it weakens. And now this is the European model, still a weak trough offshore on Thursday. Some of the modeling is showing another weather front on Thursday coming in. If that's the case, we'd have some rain Monday, some rain Tuesday, some rain Wednesday, some rain Thursday. Okay. And then let me just keep playing this. I mean, this is kind of uneventful weather, but there's a 570. That's a 572 pressure height on Sunday, October 5th. That's a week from this Sunday. So my point here is that's kind of a zonal flow. That's a pressure height that's low enough that there could be some weak fronts migrating inland. If so, that we would see some shower opportunities. And then if you just play this all the way through the 10th, again, here's a pressure height that's under 573, but lower than 573. That's the same thing. Looking this far out, you would have to assume that there's probably a shower or two to be found in some of these days all the way out through October 10th. No signs of any warm weather. This would mostly be days in the 60s and the 70s, are no warmer than 80 if this flow pattern is correct through the first 10 days of October. So if that's correct, I think we're reaching the point now where you can almost say we're done with the threat of any 90-degree weather. And I believe the final count for Portland is going to end up being 19 90-plus degree days then. Okay, so that was the flow pattern. I mentioned I don't really see anything overly cold or overly warm. This is this morning. Here's warm weather. Here's that cooler air in blue. This is coming in this afternoon into Friday. That's lowering us into the 70s. There's a little bit of a warm up Saturday. Some modeling is showing we could get up to 80 on Saturday. I don't know. It's going to be a nice day. Here's the cool weather with the rain building offshore Sunday. And then there's the rain and temps in the 60s with a cooler air pocket Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, Thursday of next week, still cool. A little bit of a warm up going into the following weekend. This will be Saturday, October 4th. And then this is pretty normal to maybe, I mean, if we're mid 70s on Tuesday, October 6th, that would be above normal, which is what this is showing. And then that continues to show 70s, it looks like, into Thursday, October 9th. So again, nothing, the coldest weather could be with the rain that we see this coming Monday and Tuesday with temperatures in the 60s. If you just look at that, that's an air mass flow pattern at 850 millibars or 5,000 feet. Okay, here's the money map. This is the rain from the European model. Here's Sunday morning. Now this indicates clouds at the beach all day Sunday, maybe some traces of rain. The main march of rain comes in to the beach Sunday evening, Sunday overnight. By the time you wake up Monday morning, there's already rain in the Willamette Valley. Notice this is widespread rain from the Canadian border all the way down to the California border. This is Monday morning. Notice rain at times continues into Tuesday. Rain at times, well, let me back it up. Rain at times continues into Wednesday. This actually goes only through Tuesday evening. And it's the map I showed you to start the show. Maybe an inch of rain at the beach, maybe too high. I like a quarter to a half of an inch rain up and down the Willamette Valley. The show's a little bit higher than that, but fairly uniform chances to get a half of an inch of rain, maybe more up through the Seattle area. Okay. All right, so that's what we're looking at. I don't see any significant wind. We're going to have westerlies in the gorge, sure, with this rainy pattern that's coming in, but I don't see anything extreme anywhere. So let's go around the horn. Let's start down in Medford. This is from my weather site, portlandweather.com, that I own and operate. Beautiful sunshine into Sunday, maybe a 91 in Medford on Saturday. Remember the rain that comes in Monday is from the Canadian border down to the California border. So there's rain down in Medford as well. So that proves that factor. And then strong enough systems to produce rain up over the Cascades. So here's rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or showers in Central Oregon after a beautiful weekend. Look at the weekend. Central Oregon, go, 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 go. Beautiful. Saturday, 83, Sunday, 82. Wow. Really nice late September weather. No doubt about it. Pendleton. Again, here is the rain chances setting up Monday, even out in the Columbia Basin after the dry weather that we have through the weekend, and temperatures in the 80s this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. There's the red flag warning for Pendleton with those gusty winds to about 30 miles per hour. So today showing up. Okay. All right. Seattle, nice. Well, this shows a chance of rain developing Saturday into Sunday up north of Portland and Seattle, then the likely rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And temperatures with any rain and cloudiness only in the 60s as we're cooling back down closer to seasonal averages. Salem, state capital of Oregon, of course, dry through Sunday like Portland. 80 Saturday, maybe 76 Sunday. There's the rainy 60s on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to start next week. North Bend going to get into some rain. Maybe Sunday, certainly Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This rain chance on Sunday is probably a PM evening rain threat down that direction. I bet you our story is going to look the same. Yeah, a PM rain chance mainly on Sunday. Again, that one model showed some clouds at the beach starting Sunday morning, maybe some traces of rain. The better chance of measurable rain would be Sunday evening and then into the first part of next week. Okay, so with that said, courtesy of Hazeldale Tire Pros, which is off of Highway 99, off of I-5 in Vancouver, in Hazeldale. Really great people. I've been using them for 20 years, literally, for my tire needs. All right, 73 today instead of 80, 75 tomorrow. Maybe 80 on Saturday. I've got Portland at 78. We'll see. But nice weather through Sunday. And there's the rainy weather we talked about with temperatures in the 60s. Okay, that is your update. I'll probably talk to you again Friday night going into the weekend, and I'll obviously give you an update on Sunday night as we get close to the rain coming in. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. Thanks for subscribing. When you do so, it helps me. And also, you'll be notified when I post. I'll talk to you soon.